feeling like I'm Akademiks.
Versus Fig Community World is crazy. Okay. Let's go. Oh, so, and some of this you might have to take with a grain of salt, as I say. Is it Code UK? I think this is what it is. Okay. So there's a Diddy story about, all right, come on, man. Let me just allow ads. They be hating on a boy. More tools. No. Extensions. No. Oh, it's right here. Sorry. Ad blocker. Pause on the site. Okay. Sorry, chat. So there was a story, and I seen it briefly. I didn't fully read it, but it was supposedly that Diddy had forced Cassie, allegedly, to get breast implants. Like, all these stories just kind of sound so odd. Diddy, let me see. Here we go. So let's kind of get into this story. Again, the Daily Mail, I think they're hit or miss. Like, if you're talking about credibility, sometimes I've seen them exclusive report stuff that is like before everybody and they're right. Also, I've seen them kind of get it wrong at times too. So I don't want to just, again, this isn't the, we have an agenda versus any particular person. We're just analyzing all the info coming out because one thing for sure and two things for certain. I think if you're tuned into my stream and even me, myself, I'm interested to kind of know the truth or even to kind of figure out where these rumors came from or figure out maybe if there's witnesses that could really kind of speak more on some of these things. All right. Yo, Funny Marco, thank you for all the gifted, the 5 tier 1 gifted subs to the community. I appreciate you for that. So the exclusive says this, and this is on dailymail.co today. It says, Sean Diddy Combs pressured Cassie to get breast implants only to demand she reverse the surgery the next day, despite health risks because they were too big. Now, this reads like some clown shit. This got to be a comic book shit. You know what I mean? However, apparently this is one of the allegations that have came out in the sites covering it. So it says, former friend recalls witnessing the moment Diddy ordered Cassie to reverse her 2009 breast surgery. By the way, could y'all do some research with me too while I'm looking this up? Did Cassie ever get breast enhancement surgery in 2009? It said, according to the Inside, the music mogul was behind the idea and did most of the talking during a consultation at Dr. Frank Ryan's office in Beverly Hills. But Diddy would later become furious with the results and demanded he met with the surgeon to have the implants reduced the very next day. Here's the article. Years before being accused of raping his ex-girlfriend Cassie and forcing her to have sex with prostitutes, why do they still call him a rapper? Rapper Sean Diddy Combs pressured the singer to get breast implants only to order her to have them removed the following day, despite the plastic surgeon's warning that it could harm her, Daily Mail has learned. A source close to the former couple recalled her horror witnessing the exchange, which saw Cassie fresh from surgery, crying but silent as the Bad Boy founder demanded celebrity surgeon Dr. Frank Ryan immediately removed the implants despite the serious health risk. Speaking exclusively to Daily Mail, the witness says Diddy thought they could go right back into surgery, like now, and take them out. And Dr. Ryan was like, no way, trying to explain to him that they should wait at least 6 months to see how it heals because she was just opened up. But Diddy was like, no, they got to come out. Call who you need to call. They got to come out. The witness, who spoke on the condition of anonymity, said the discussion took place shortly after Thanksgiving in 2009 at the office of Dr. Ryan. So it seems a little specific, right? Remind me to Google that person too. So Dr. Ryan. At the office of Dr. Ryan, who died the following year in 2010. Ain't this a thing? Everybody who's disgruntled or Diddy is mad at dies. Like they have nothing to say because they're all in the dirt. You know what I mean? Oh, so the doctor died the following year when he accidentally drove off a cliff in Malibu while sending a text message. Wait, y'all gotta read this. Oh, my bad, you can't see. Look. So the doctor who gave Cassie a breast augmentation died the next year, which Diddy was allegedly mad at, died the next year in 2010 when he accidentally drove off a cliff in Malibu while sending a text message? What the fuck is this? Hold on. Let me Google this nigga's name. This got to be like a lie. Dr. Frank Ryan. Let me see. Give me a second, chat. We're gonna have to start Googling some of this. We gotta cite our sources. What the fuck? Malibu. Let's see. Heidi Montag, plastic surgeon Frank Ryan, texting before fatal crash. In August 2010, Dr. Frank Ryan, the surgeon who performed extensive plastic surgery early this year in Heidi Montag, was sending a Twitter message about his dog before his fatal crash. Monday in Los Angeles. He lived up in Malibu on a tiny street and was texting while driving, and he accidentally went over the cliff. Ryan's ex-girlfriend, Charmaine Blake, a celebrity publicist. How ironic. His ex-girlfriend's a celebrity publicist. Okay. Told People magazine. Blake said Ryan's family was told by the police that the tweeting caused the accident. Los Angeles police haven't commented about what led to the accident, though medical examiner said the doctor died of blunt force head injury. He was 50 and texting about his border collie, Jill. Blake's middle name. Under a picture of Jill lying on the beach, Ryan wrote, "Border Collie Jill surveying the view from atop the sand dune." By the way, I think his last tweet is here. Look, Chad. His Twitter's right here. I think this is the guy. And this was the last fucking tweet. Nah, this is too eerie. So, and I guess this was the picture? Huh. What the fuck? This is a strange death. Okay. Huh. All right. Okay. Dr. Ryan, who died the following year when he accidentally drove off a cliff in Malibu while sending a text message. Well, I guess a tweet, right? Is this the before? Oh, this is the before and after. So this is Cassie, no breast implants. This is Cassie with breast implants. Okay. The singer's picture on the left in 2006. So this is before, and post-op in 2018, right here. The inside source said she didn't speak out at the time to avoid causing more problems for the couple. But that calculus changed last Thursday when Cassie, whose full name is Cassandra Ventura, filed a bombshell lawsuit accusing the hip-hop mogul of controlling and abusing her for over a decade. The singer claimed Diddy had plied or supplied her with drugs, viciously beat her, and forced her to have sex with multiple male prostitutes while he watched and recorded the encounters. I never thought Cassie would ever come forward to talk about all of this, the source told the Daily Mail. When she finally did yesterday, I was like, thank God. I'm so happy she has the courage to do so, and I was more than happy to come forward myself to describe the level of abuse that I saw she was enduring. But a day after the lawsuit became public and the insider spoke to Daily Mail, Diddy announced that the two had settled the lawsuit in Manhattan's federal district court. No specific details on the terms were revealed. But the witness to the 2009 episode in the plastic surgeon's office, meanwhile, shared her account to help corroborate one core contention of Cassie's lawsuit, that Diddy was deeply controlling. I've always been traumatized myself about what I saw, the witness told Daily Mail. To me, watching this, it was just so cruel, so horrible. She was treated like a rat. What the fuck? It was literally like her voice was snatched and there was nothing she could do, that if she started standing up for herself, she could be in trouble. She knew to keep quiet and go along with whatever he was saying. Reps for Combs and Cassie did not reply to Daily Mail's request for comment. The latest allegations seem to align with the narrative depicting Diddy as a controlling partner in Cassie's lawsuit, as well as claims by other associates of the couple, including rapper Young Jock, who once recalled how the music mogul was behind her dramatic makeover and edgy hairstyle in 2009. In the wake of the lawsuit, 43-year-old rapper, real name Jaceel Amon Robinson, I guess that's Young Jock, explained how he witnessed the moment Diddy ordered Cassie to shave half her head after being inspired by a woman haircut at the club. Cassie was always a beautiful girl, man. This is when she was 20, and this is pre, breast implants, I'm guessing. Young Jock recorded, all right, we know this already. Speaking on, give me 1 second. Okay. Speaking on Diddy's role in Cassie's boob job that same year, the witness said she had become concerned during the initial consultation when he accompanied her to the first appointment with Dr. Ryan. The doctor had treated a host of stars, including Heidi Montag, Gene Simmons, Shauna Sand, and Vince Neil. Describing the office visit in 2009, the source recalled how Diddy had done nearly all the talking during the consultation. He presented his vision for her breasts, and she stood topless before them and had photos taken of her body. It was him talking about what he wanted, the witness recalled. She was like his doll, like a dress-up doll. She had a flat chest, and he wanted a full shape, sexy, but not too big. The source said that typically patients speak for themselves. Usually men act like, I just want her to be happy, even though they know it's for them, the witness says, which kind of makes sense. If you go with your girl is probably doing that because she wants to make you happy. Obviously, maybe a little bit with her own self-esteem as well, but she's probably talking, right? It's like going with the girl to get a tattoo of your name. You know what I mean? If you're in there like, yo, tat her like this, and you know what I mean? It's going to give the vibes like, yo, maybe she doesn't want this and you're forcing her, right? But if she goes in with you and be like, oh, yeah, I'm getting his name, put it here, blah, 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 and you're just chilling there, like, it doesn't look as bad, right? On the optics view, right? Cool. Men are usually kind of quiet in these consultations. It was out of the ordinary that he was doing all the talking and she wasn't saying anything. She appeared meek. She was more like a Stepford wife, agreeable, amiable, but quiet. Dr. Ryan, excited to have have the famous rapper in his luxurious cosmetic surgery office on Brighton Way, was proudly and confidently agreeing with everything Diddy said, according to the witness. He just got into his artistry mode. The witness recalled of the surgeon, who charged about $16,000 for the procedure. He was describing how great the outcome was going to be, how confident he was about achieving the desired result. The surgery took place weeks later in another location, with Cassie being released in the evening. But according to source, Diddy was furious with the results. The very next day, he wanted to meet with Dr. Ryan and discuss having the breasts removed to a smaller size. He said they were too big. Dr. Ryan called the witness, expressed an alarm, and wanted her to be present for the meeting. So whoever is doing the snitching, or whoever the source is, Dr. Ryan called and said, hey, I want you to be part of the meeting. So it got to be somebody within his office or his former office. You know, now he's dead. He wanted me there, she told Daily Mail. He needed some support. He thought there would be strength in numbers with me helping navigate him through this. Through this visit, Cassie quietly sobbed as Diddy railroaded the surgeon, the source said. Now it's a flashback to Cassie saying he responded to Combs' request about the shaving the head thing by telling friends, well, whatever Sean wants, I'm going to do it. Okay? All right. By the way, there's a picture of Young Jock, Cassie, obviously Diddy. It was the day after the surgery, and she looked like she was in pain, the witness says. The plastic surgeon tried to talk some sense to Diddy. This doctor was shocked and seemed like he was going to piss his pants. Like, what am I going to do with this? He was trying to hold his ground that this was never going to happen, assuring him that we can get to the desired result, but we need time for healing. He was saying there's a lot of swelling now, but that will go down. He said, you're seeing a lot of swelling and a lot of fluid, but it will go down. But Diddy just wasn't convinced and kept saying, no, they have got to come out. Dr. Ryan succumbed to the pressure. Okay, I'll get my team together and we'll take him out, do a smaller size. He felt bad for her, and it was sad. It was just so sad. And while all this was going on, Cassie was not talking at all. She was crying, visibly traumatized, but she wasn't saying anything at all and just going along with whatever he said. She wasn't advocating for herself or for the boobs at all. And Diddy, was not comforting her at all. Privately, Dr. Ryan told me this was mutilation, that I can't even believe this. He was saying, poor Cassie, this is awful. The source said the doctor rushed to get the supplies and a team together and performed the surgery within a week. The witness says she never saw Diddy or Cassie again. She kept silent until now. She says she's proud of Cassie for going public, reading the lawsuit with interest. I'm not surprised her body was not her own at all, because in that moment I witnessed, it was not her body, it was his body, to be dressed up and enhanced the way he wanted. If someone doesn't respect someone's body being cut up, I can't imagine he cared much about her or her body or in any other area of her life, she continued. She deserves to have agency over her body and to reclaim any dignity that was lost in that relationship for whatever she endured. Before the settlement was reached, Diddy's lawyer, Ben Brafman, said Cassie had demanded $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship. Cassie's attorney, Doug Winder, meanwhile told Daily Mail Thursday that Mr. Combs offered Ms. Ventura 8 figures to silence her and prevent the filing of this lawsuit. And she rejected his efforts so she could give voice to all women who suffer in silence. Diddy, who's 54, vehemently denied all the offensive and outrageous allegations. The tone changed after the settlement was reached. I've decided to resolve that matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control over. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support. Combs stated, we have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. The lawsuit had already caused considerable damage to his reputation. Within hours, an interview of another ex-girlfriend from 2019 resurfaced with model Gina Hua telling a controversial blogger, why they even name Tasha K? Just telling a controversial blogger that Diddy had stomped on her stomach and repeatedly punched her in the head. Another resurfaced interview from 2014 in New York Magazine, Kimora Simmons, ex-wife of Baby Fat founder Russell Simmons, accused him on threatening to hit her when she was pregnant. Really? Oh, we'll look up that interview as well. The pair, who had met in 2005 when she was 19, split in 2018. I guess they're not talking about Cassie again. The lawsuit claimed that just before the end of the relationship, Diddy forced his way into her home and raped her. Cassie stated in court papers that after years of silence and in darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationship. Among the serious allegations were that Diddy sex trafficked Cassie, who's now 37. Wait. Cassie 37 now? How old is Cassie? Wow, she is 37. Damn, for whatever reason, I thought maybe 31, 32. She's 37. Damn. To male prostitutes to fulfill his voyeurism fantasies in hotels and at his home. The lawsuit claimed that she was directed to have sex with multiple men, sometimes in masculine costumes, while the music exec watched, masturbated, and filmed. Cassie in the documents called the ordeals horrific encounters and said she had to take drugs to disassociate during the arrangements, which Diddy allegedly called freak-offs. Okay. They're pretty much just reiterating whatever. Freak-offs happened in Trump International, L'Hermitage, London, Intercontinental, and this is the picture with her and her new guy. This is them in their at least one child. Apparently, have 2 kids now. His assistance was allegedly helped set up the freak-offs by providing baby oil and lubricant. Jesus Christ. Imagine being Diddy's... Was that Farnsworth Bentley? That nigga Farnsworth Bentley was probably providing baby oil, lubricant, and a honey pack. Diddy, a 3-time Grammy winner who also goes by the stage name Puff Daddy, is worth an estimated $1 billion after being one of the star figures in the commercialization of hip-hop in the 1990s. Okay. God damn. What are we supposed to make of this? Do y'all believe this? Again, now we're getting into muddy waters. At least Cassie put the name to the claim she's saying. Now we're getting more claims, but now it's from anonymous people. By the way, Cassie is probably not going to speak on this again because she got paid off. But there's other people who probably were witnesses or whatever, but they're like more material witnesses, not like something necessarily was done to them. So they could speak up, but what do they get from it, right? I don't know, man. Fresh up out of the bank. Thank you for that comment. Hold on, let me just grab some water real quick. Okay. So that comment by Fresh Up Out of the Bank, where he said, message to younger women, don't date older weirdo guys. And what do y'all think about that, right? So Diddy was like 40 something when she was like 19. Do you believe that this is a byproduct of age? Or is it a good thing, or is it like just probably recommendable just to tell young women to not date men too much outside their age bracket? What I think is, I don't think necessarily this is an age thing, even though I think age might come into play. This is a power and control thing, and sometimes age could be a factor with that. You know what I mean? Sometimes people assume that the older you are, the more you know, so you're willing to more acquiesce or listen to that person, and that person sometimes can take advantage of that and then try to turn into control. But I do think the biggest thing here is just narcissism and control. I don't care what it is. It's not you could be dating somebody the same age at both 21. If you're with somebody who's narcissistic and who is severely and overly controlling, they're going to try to do it, especially if they see they have leverage. And leverage might come in the form of maybe they feel you depend on them for money or for resources, or your career depends on them. So again, I think it only depends on if that person is controlling. The G 2016, you said what's the lowest I would date? I mean, I would think at this point, it's been 21 for like probably the last couple of years for me. I like to drink. If I'm going to be with anybody, I would hope they would, probably indulge in that type of, vice as well. And somebody who's 18, yes, they're legal. It's just, yeah. Also, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I've started to get into the place where, of course, like, we all want a beautiful chick, but like, it feels like a severe waste of time when a woman isn't mature enough or she isn't intellectual enough to like even stimulate you. Like, it's only so much you could be like, oh, she's nice, young, hot piece of ass. You fuck her, but what else? Like if imagine dating a girl who, like the depth of where her life is still going to the club every weekend. Like, what the fuck could you talk? Like, what the fuck could I talk about with that person, right? So with me, it's not necessarily about age. It's definitely about maturity as well. So, of course, I would still say 21, 21 and up. But more than even the age is definitely mental maturity, because I'm telling you, bro, like, it's, if you're only just trying to have sex, I get that. But, like, if you're with a woman who just mentally is just not even in the same realm as you, like, you know what I mean? She's she's amused by certain shit that's just, like, even just mentally not even on your level or intellectually, you're gonna just, yeah, you know what I mean? And by the way, truth be told, as I said, I would deal with a 21-year-old, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it was rare that I'd find a 21-year-old who's mentally mature enough. A girl turning 21, she's excited about dumb shit. Yo, I could finally use my license to get in the club. I don't have to sneak in no more. I don't have to use my fake. You know what I mean? Oh, I want to go to Vegas. Like, these are all things she's probably, I'm saying the average girl. I'm not saying every girl. A girl like that is like, nothing wrong with it, but it's like, you have to think about on a level where you're at and how is that stimulating to you? You know what I mean? Like maybe if you were 25 and like, you know what I mean, but she's going through shit that you're like so bored with, you know? That's why I also look at like Diddy, like where Diddy's mind is though, where Diddy's mind is to run the companies he runs, to be doing all the things he does. Bro, Diddy's mind is operating like over there in infinity. When you get with Cassie, who, you know, no disrespect to her, I'm not saying she's dumb or nothing like that, but like she's reasonably young. She's 19. She's literally still like she looked like she literally just came from her mother's house. What the fuck is that type of what's that connection there? And obviously, it's really easy to impress a woman of you know that age because she's never seen nothing. You get what I mean? Like, you know, like I remember flying out like maybe 5 years ago or something like that. Like I flew out this girl like she's 20, right? And like she's never been on a plane before. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bruh, you know what I mean? So it's like everything I did was impressive to her. But like when you're Diddy, I think everything you do is gonna be impressive to anybody. So like a 19-year-old who probably lives with their mom at that point, you know what I mean? I would think Diddy would be having fun, but if you ask me, I think Diddy gets like, you know, again, I don't know if this is true, but I would imagine that like he's addicted to a young submissive woman who listens to him and does what he wants. I don't think, which this is why it confuses me about Diddy. If you're with Cassie for like 10 years, right? How do you get with like a Young Miami? Now, granted, I don't want to, you know, I'm not here to diss Young Miami. Maybe she's just completely different in person because online we see this loud, abrasive, aggressive, masculine woman in terms of how she comes across. She comes across as the woman that she always backtalks you. She's loud, she's ignorant, she might even be quick to fight, she's ghetto, ratchet. If Diddy goes for a Cassie, I don't think his type would be Young Miami. But who knows? Maybe Young Miami fits whatever he's looking for. But I do think that Diddy probably loved the fact that whatever he wanted, she would do. So he does love submissive women. And not to make this racial, but when I see that Gina girl who seems to be Asian, a lot of dudes, right? A lot of males who, you know, when they're talking about submissiveness or, you know, they want a girl who will be able to listen and not argue, you'll see sometimes men look at Asian women because it's been said about that culture, women in that culture, they're very submissive. So when I see the Cassie thing and I see the Gina thing, one's Asian and Cassie just looked like she was just down to let him do whatever he wanted. I would imagine Diddy's type is like women who completely submit. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe to the point of almost like sex slave type of shit. You get what I mean? He could do whatever. He could just make shit up in his head and they'll get it done for him to please him. Like people who are pleasers. You get what I mean? Hispanic women and black women, you're going to have a little bit more feistiness, like, you know, typically. Not all the time. And it doesn't mean that, you know, they won't submit. But, you know, hey, sometimes it really takes you to be in a different type of mode to get them to, you know, be submissive as some people want it. But Cassie looked like she was down for whatever. You know? It doesn't, like, in any of these stories, I'm not hearing that Cassie told Diddy, no, I'm not doing that. Hey, no, I'm not comfortable. Hey, fuck what you want. This is what I want. You know what I mean? Somebody says, you got to hear the story about the baby going to Diddy's crib. Why does everybody have a story about going to Diddy's crib? It's on YouTube. The baby Diddy house. Let's see. Is there a story about it? Which one is it? Is it this one?
Did you see where Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter Blue Ivy introduced her salon son to your song Shake Something?
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. You know what I mean? I ain't know how true it was or not, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, you know, if it come from in-house, you know, it's validated. But that's dope. It don't surprise me. I actually met Beyonce before. That was one of the people be like, who you met? You know what I'm saying? That like it threw you out, like it took you back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Beyonce, I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people, he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, you know, 2 of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put it into perspective of the type of company.
Hey, by the way, chat, just a random question. You know, in all of these archives kind of coming out, I was really prepared to hear like more elaboration or more stories about Diddy not being some like weirdo cuck freakazoid that likes, you know, these kinky like freak offs where he's a cuck, you know what I mean? I thought it was gonna be like, yo, yeah, Diddy's in there sucking a dick. Like I thought the gay rumors were gonna like be like substantiated. Like, okay, oh, all right, this is why people think he's gay. He's gay, you know what I mean? But even though that's weird, right? Or maybe that's part of being gay. Like maybe the niggas who come in to fuck Cassie, he's not looking at Cassie, he's looking at them. He's jacking off to their shit. Like, oh shit, that's a big black dick. You know what I mean? I mean, he was like instructing her to like grab the big black dick. So I don't know. I was expecting to hear some more shit about him supposedly being gay, right? Somebody said the baby turned into his baby. So, ain't this is getting out of hand, man. Okay. So more stories are kind of just coming out every day. I'm wondering, you know, if any of these people, like for example, Kimora Lee, right? Kimora Lee Simmons, Diddy, pregnant. I think there's a story about her pregnant, right? It says Diddy once allegedly threatened to hit pregnant Kimora Lee Simmons. He threatened to hit her when she was pregnant years ago, according to Resurface 2004 interview. Okay, Simmons was married to Def Jam founder Russell Simmons from '98 till 2006, and until they separated in 2006, and was profiled in New York Magazine, in which a record executive was quoted saying, "Diddy was nasty towards Simmons. It was a nasty cloud outburst. It was a nasty cloudburst when Kimora said something to Combs and he threatened to hit her. Okay, the baby fat founder chimed in and I was pregnant. And the alleged incident, the rapper, now 54, got down on his knees and publicly apologized. So basically, maybe Diddy was drunk. So he wilded out, threatened to hit her, didn't hit her, I'm guessing, and apologized. I respect him for being a fierce entrepreneur, Simmons, now 40 years, says in the article, and appreciate knowing that everything he does is emulate my husband. Oh, shit. That's a backhanded compliment. So Kimora Lee Simmons says that Diddy's a fierce entrepreneur, but she basically then says, I appreciate knowing that everything he does is emulating my husband, which means you're copying him. The profile surfaced amid the weak allegations against Combs. As the Post previously reported, singer Cassie, okay, we already did that. Cool. This is Kimora Lee Simmons, by the way, if you don't know. This is Russell. All right. Okay, then. So I said him getting down on his knee. Now, I don't know if y'all seen this. Suge Knight. Suge Knight apparently is going to be responded. Let me see if I can find that article. Yeah. Suge Knight plans to address these allegations. If you don't know, he's actually serving a really long time in prison. But the story, or the part of the story that Cassie said that, you know, he was at this diner called Mel's Drive-In Diner or whatever, and he was eating, and somebody came and told Diddy, like, yo, we got the drop on this motherfucker, and Diddy said, grab all the guns and let's, like, fucking dip and go pull up on him. You know, Suge Knight's now going to address it. So first of all, it says Suge Knight will directly address Cassie's claim that Diddy once grabbed a bunch of guns to go confront the ex-Death Row boss. TMZ Hip Hop has learned, although Puffy might have already beat him to the punch, the ex-Death Row honcho will tape the Diddy convo on his Collect Call podcast in the next couple of weeks, right after he drops his Thanksgiving Day episode, according to sources involved in the production. That was the plan anyway, before Diddy and Cassidy suddenly settled Friday night. As we reported in the Cassidy lawsuit against Diddy, She claimed that one night, she was home with him when a security side burst into the room, informing that Suge was spotted, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Interesting. So I said Suge is ratting. It's not ratting. How could it be ratting if homeboy's girlfriend at the time, Cassie, comes out and says it happened? Now people are thinking, well, damn. Yo, Suge, maybe that nigga was on your bumper. That nigga was on your line. Like, he was pulling up on you. Because this whole thought that we've had is that Diddy wanted no smoke with Suge Knight, was scared of him, and linked up basically with these Southside Crips to get protected from Suge Knight. Which, again, if we're hearing that Diddy is grabbing guns and saying, yo, let's go pull up on that nigga, don't seem like Diddy's that scared. But I think this is definitely after Pac passed. Yes, had to be, because he wasn't dating Cassie then. Somebody said it was on some Keefy D shit. Ain't that a bitch, right? Give me 1 second right here. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else we're missing. That article about the breast implant shit sounds wild. I'm wondering if that's just, have you ever been with a girl, or, for women who are watching, do you know a girl that's just submissive by nature? Like, I've been with a woman before that, like, literally anything I would ask of her, she would do. And that was kind of a turn on. Like, never bad talk me or back talk me. But also, you kind of get drunk a little bit off of that. Like, it's kind of like power a bit, where you feel like you could tell her anything to do and she's going to do. Right? It's like she just wants to listen and obey you type of shit. You get what I mean? Like, I think at some points I started just saying dumb shit. You get what I mean? And it wasn't like nothing abusive, nothing like that. But it was just like, what do you do when you're with a person who wants to do anything and never, ever gives a retort like, nah, I'm not comfortable with doing that? Somebody said that shit is so sexy. Somebody said it gets boring. Probably does. It probably does. But also, here's the thing too, though. Like, I'll give you a story of a woman that was like that, was in college. I think I've kind of told the story before. I mean, anything, like, I remember anything I would say, she would just do it to the max. Like shit, I remember even, like, whatever, like, we'd be, like, watching, like, fucking, I think Breaking Bad is out at that point. Watching Breaking Bad, nigga, I remember I would ask her to, like give me head type shit, like, while we watching. My nigga, she wouldn't stop giving me head until I told her to stop. Like, nigga, I think I went to sleep, 2 episodes done passed. I woke up and I was like, this bitch is still giving me head? Like, she was just one of those women who she just wanted to please, never ever, like, said, yo, I'm tired, yo, hey, just want to do anything you want to do. Now, here's the thing with that, like, because she that was her personality all throughout. She never ever complained. She was mad easygoing, super, super duper submissive. You know what ended up happening, though? I ain't gonna lie, she fucked one of my friends. Which I kind of explained to be, I just don't, number one, I don't think she's confrontational. She don't like saying no. And, as much as you thought that was some, like, loyalty to you, yeah, she'll go for other niggas too, my nigga. You get what I mean? Now, given, obviously, that was, like, a random girl that was, like, on my, like, college roster at the time, so I didn't give 2 fucks. Within reason, actually. But if that was my girl, that, like, knowing she has that type of personality, maybe you start getting more controlling over her, because a girl like that, you might not want to be around no Kid Cudi and Wale. You know what I mean? If she do anything you say, right? If she's going whenever you want her to go, if you're having her in freak offs and she's cool with it, you don't know what another nigga might do. You get what I mean? So maybe you get, again, I'm just throwing out these theories. I'm throwing out these theories that may or may not make sense, but I'm kind of also assuming the personality of Cassie. By the way, I'm still not here trying to either belittle or dismiss or deny the fact that she got abused. But I'm trying to figure out why the fuck Diddy was just so possessive over her. And I'm wondering if we could find proof of him being possessive over anybody else to that matter. Maybe Kim Porter, I guess. And where does J-Lo fit in this mix? Okay. Give me 1 second. Somebody said, look up the personal cook story. Yeah, I did. J-Lo ran after the Shine case. Well, yeah, obviously Diddy was involved in some shit, but what I'm talking about is, no. What I'm talking about is, was there any stories of him having these weird sexual fantasies before Cassie? Right? Has this always been him? I know there's been rumors that he's gay, but has he been doing freak-offs before Cassie? And probably who are these women or his main girl that he constantly had in these freak-offs? Okay, let me see. By the way, that plastic surgeon, Dr. Frank Ryan, it came out later that tweeting did not cause his death. Remember they said that, oh, he just drove off a cliff while sending out a tweet? Now they're saying it was an unsafe turn. He was pronounced dead at the scene, but his dog was seriously injured but survived. They've been trying to figure out if he was texting or tweeting at the time of the crash, but they found no evidence of that in the investigation. That's just an odd murder. I keep hearing about Kim Porter about to write a book and a laptop missing. I've only heard it from Jaguar Wright a lot of times. Jaguar. Has she said anything recently?
Cassie, I will advocate for you. Because, see, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us.
We decided to do the book because I'm not a rapper, obviously, or anything like that. But I've been in the business and been around the business.
Some of the things in the book cover Diddy's gay relationships, footage of those encounters, the men he slept with,
Wait, what the fuck? Good morning. I tried calling you back last night, but I figured you were knocked out by the time I tried to contact you. But I wanted to let you know that Kim Porter's book is finally in progress and will be released, blah, blah, blah. I met with this past Sunday evening, and she showed me the rough drafts that Kim sent her. When looking over the details of Kim and Diddy's relationship that will be exposed in the book, it will absolutely blow your mind. I was devastated to read the things that Kim put up with and witnessed during her relationship with Diddy. Also, some of the things in the book covers Diddy's gay relationships, footage of those encounters. What the fuck? No, what the fuck? Footage of those encounters. The men he slept with, STDs, Diddy giving Usher. Nah, come on. All right, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Diddy giving Usher an STD and the explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom. Mary J. Blige being pregnant by Diddy, and of course, she had an abortion. The beatings she took, pushing him down the steps in 2007, and him breaking his foot or her foot. Also, how she used a strap-on. What the fuck? Hold on, chat.
STDs, Diddy giving Usher an STD, and the explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom, Mary J. Blige being pregnant by Diddy, and of course, she had an AB, the beatings Kim took, pushing him down the steps in 2007, and him breaking his foot.
Jaguar Wright has broken her silence on Diddy settling his lawsuit with Cassie, and she claims Cassie knows what Diddy did to his ex, Kim Porter, when she tried to expose him. For years now, rumors have been swirling that Diddy had Kim Porter eliminated because she was planning to write a tell-all.
By the way, that's a damaging accusation. Like I seen. Don't y'all remember when Diddy was mourning? Diddy mourns Kim Porter. Diddy was like, he wrote like this long ass thing. He wrote this long ass message. I thought it was a long ass message.
Sean Diddy Combs in a second and always the day following her death.
Yeah, he seems like he's been severely hurt. And I felt like, I can't remember the exact post. I could probably Google it and find it. But it looked like he was expressing regret that he didn't treat her maybe better, but not in the sense of, oh, he mistreated her. But maybe like, maybe almost kind of alluding to the fact that she was the woman for him. She was his soulmate. And she was the one he should have taken serious and really disregarded those other women. That's how I read it. You get what I mean? So I think the accusation that he had something done to her is kind of crazy.
Book, and several people who worked for Diddy claimed that they witnessed Diddy putting his hands on Kim.
When they were at home at Kim's house on 110th Street, he wanted to, put his hands on her in the wrong way.
And then Jaguar Wright directly accused Diddy of heinous crimes, including allegedly poisoning Kim Porter. And isn't it interesting how Diddy never tried to sue Jaguar for defamation? Well, Jaguar's back, and she revealed in a new interview that Kim warned Cassie about Diddy shortly before she died, and that Cassie knows exactly why Kim is no longer with us. So could Cassie's lawsuit lead to an investigation into Kim Porter's death? And what exactly did Kim tell Cassie in their last conversation?
And I know Kim had some very good advice to give you. And I believe that this is why things are happening as they're happening now.
Just 24 hours after Cassie filed an explosive lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of DV, SA, and trafficking, they settled the suit for an undisclosed amount. However, this just made Diddy look even more guilty, because after Cassie filed, Diddy's lawyer publicly accused her of trying to blackmail Diddy. And yet, just hours later, Diddy suddenly decided to pay up? See, Diddy literally never pays anyone.
That's a good idea. That's actually a good point. Number one, they say Diddy don't pay. Number two, it's like when you remember that story with Kevin Hart when he had a threesome with two white bitches and they had a tape. Kevin Hart extorted, and he basically came out and he said, "Yo, there's someone who's trying to extort me for money because they have a footage of me cheating on my wife and having a threesome with some bitches." You get what I mean? And he just came out and said it. And when he came out and said it, I don't think he ever paid. I think he apologized to his wife, and I think there was a criminal investigation that was launched, and I think the dude that was his former friend that supposedly was a part of it got like either arrested or got in trouble somehow. But yeah, if it's extortion and the extortion's already out publicly, why pay it?
It took him over 30 years to pay his former artists, so there's definitely more here than meets the eye. He didn't put any effort to clear his name, and instead, he immediately put a lid on Cassie's lawsuit, which can only mean one thing: there has to be more that he's hiding. Now, something that a lot of people were confused about is why Cassie agreed to settle. Well, she didn't have any other option. She filed a civil lawsuit, which means settlement was the only possible outcome. Only the government, aka a prosecutor, can file cases in criminal court, so it's up to them.
Well, not true. She didn't have to settle. She could have taken this to trial, got a summary judgment, hopefully in her favor, and all those things that would come with this civil lawsuit, including maybe depositions, some discovery, and other details, those would be played out in civil court. So again, her only option wasn't just to settle.
To open a criminal investigation against Diddy. But this was actually a really smart move on Cassie's part, because her lawyers used Keir Stewart circulating there was foul play involved. People started pointing, showing her with a busted lip. Speaking of evidence, many things are starting to surface online, including this video of Cassie curled up on the floor under a blanket while Diddy taunts her.
What you gotta say now? You ain't got shit to say when you put your girl on the snap.
Also, Cassie's old selfie recently resurfaced, showing her with a busted lip.
Is this Cassie, though? This don't look like Cassie.
trauma to her head. Cassie shared this photo in 2014 during a trip to Dubai with Diddy, and at that time, blogs reported she had an accident while riding an ATV. But this isn't what her face would look like after an ATV accident. Instead, it looks like one of the incidents she describes in her lawsuit. Now, a lot of people are saying this story is scarily similar to what happened to Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend who died under mysterious circumstances in 2018. To give you some context, Diddy and Kim dated on and off from 1994 to 2007, and during one of their splits, Kim started seeing Shakir Stewart, who worked at Def Jam. Diddy reportedly became furious after learning
The Shakir Stewart nigga ain't dead, is he? Is he alive? Please tell me he's alive. Too many people are dead in this story.
about Kim and Shakir, which led to a heated argument during which Kim sustained a broken nose. Most of the reports about this incident have been scrubbed from the internet. However, there is one article published in 2005 that references the altercation, saying that Kim was left with a broken nose after the couple argued on Combs' yacht in Saint-Tropez. The article states that Combs flew in a specialist plastic surgeon from Geneva.
Wait, that's Shakir? Hold on. Shakir, he not dead, is he? Shakir Stewart, Def Jam. Holy shit. He dead too. It's reported he committed suicide. Bro, this is some Jason Bourne activity right here, man. What the fuck? Shakir Stewart, who succeeded Jay-Z as the head of hip-hop music label Def Jam Recordings, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound Saturday, reports the Associated Press. He was discovered Saturday in the bathroom of his home in the Atlanta suburb of Marietta, Cobb County. Police wouldn't say who found him, but confirmed it was a self-inflicted wound. A close friend was trying to talk to wigging out record executive Shakir Stewart moments before he committed suicide. Smith told police that he noticed a behavioral change in Stewart when he arrived at the house and Stewart was wigging out. In the police report, Smith said while trying to talk to him, Stewart began to tell him to leave. He told Smith to go back home to his wife and kids and children because he did not need to be at the Stewart's house. When he stepped outside the house, he heard a gunshot from inside the house. Smith told the police Rivers was in the kitchen at the time of the shooting. He told police that Rivers, who's Rivers? Oh, that's a fiance. Okay. So Shakir Stewart's fiance. They told police that his fiance was in the kitchen at the time of the shooting, and Smith found the 34-year-old Stewart on the master bedroom floor. Rivers released a statement through the record label that read, "Over the past several weeks, Shakir's behavior was inconsistent with the man we all know and love. As much as we try to help him, Shakir was in deep pain and largely suffering in silence." Okay.
After the accident, and that Porter has since claimed that she hurt her face after she banged her nose on the table. But it gets even more disturbing from here. On November 1st, 2008, Shakir Stewart was found dead in his Atlanta home, having suffered a gunshot wound. According to the official ruling, he took his own life. However, it didn't take long before rumors started circulating there was foul play involved. People started pointing fingers at Diddy, and one source confirmed to Media Takeout that Diddy had previously beaten up Shakir badly. The source said Kim was seeing Shakir and Diddy found out and he went ape. He tracked Shakir down to his hotel. Then Diddy went up there without security and beat him to a bloody pulp. Now, as for Kim, she passed away on November 15, 2018, supposedly from complications of pneumonia. However, she was just 47 years old, and there's no evidence she had any underlying conditions.
A shocked and devastated Diddy spotted at the home where his ex suddenly and mysteriously died. Her good friend Kimora Lee Simmons appearing inconsolable at the house, 47-year-old Porter's body found after a desperate call to 911.
EMS 14, respond with engine 76 on scene of the cardiac arrest.
Of course, many people thought this was highly suspicious, and one of them was Kim's ex-husband, Al B. Sure. In July 2020, Al shared a since-deleted video of himself and wrote, "I just found this footage from the morning I learned of Kim Porter's murder and how it ripped the soul from my physical body. I do know very clearly that Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia." Al B. also added the hashtag, "Don't let the love songs fool you," seemingly referencing Diddy's tributes to Kim. And then in November 2021, Al B. posted a throwback photo with Kim and claimed she told him she was running and he advised her to call the FBI. Al B. also added in the comments, "You would never believe what she went through." And get this, just months after he posted this, Al B. was hospitalized with multiple organ failure and spent 2 months in a coma. He managed to pull through, however, he's been very silent since then and stopped mentioning Kim in public. However, Jaguar Wright is not staying silent, and back in December, she told Real Life Productions that Kim's initial autopsy showed she was poisoned.
Kim died.
This is weird, chat. It's kind of creepy, I kid you not. I'll Be Sure had posted something in the wake of Cassie's lawsuit being filed, and I think even afterwards. I don't know if anyone covered it. That was odd. I just gotta Google it, right? Can't find it. Did I go past it or no? All right, I can't find it here. Let me just Google it. Here we go. I'll Be Sure pens cryptic message following Diddy and Cassie settlement. Here it is. It says, kind of, almost, something like this. I do agree. My expectations about you were driven strictly from my optimistic view of you, hoping your grimy ways would dissipate with age and with the current state of affairs. That will eventually expose that you were on the payroll and secretly part of the shenanigans. Undo the puzzle. When being on payroll and doing me was in your sudden come up, wait for it. Yo, this shit read like, yo, these niggas is typing like they Jigsaw, bro. Like, what the fuck is going on? Yo, these niggas is typing like they Jigsaw. Yo, I'll Be Sure. What's cracking, homie? It's like the Riddler. Kind of, almost. Something like this. I do agree. My expectations about you were driven strictly from my optimistic view of you, hoping your grimy ways would dissipate with age and the current state of affairs that will eventually expose that you were on the payroll and secretly part of the shenanigans. Who is he talking to? Is he talking to Cassie? Or is that to Diddy? Undo the puzzle. This was the video that was also on the thing.
Expectations was too high for the world. That's why I was mad. Now I look at everybody. You ain't. So when you hurt me, you ain't hurt me. I already thought you would. I don't even take it personal because I had high.
After many reached out to him regarding the quoted message, the Night and Day crooner posted a in-feed reply for clarification purposes. He says, I posted this story this morning about someone close to me that I trusted like family. Come to find out, I walk with their flag daily, and they're grimy on many levels. While I went down and was hospitalized, they have been questionable riding the fence throughout the entire attempts on my existence. Huh? Let me attempts on your existence. Huh? So to update your blogs and fictional narratives, FYI, I don't comment and speak on nor concern myself with court cases, the ensuing results, or another man and woman's business that's not my own. No matter how closely associated, my artistic post may reflect real life. Some fans rally behind his sentiments while others prefer something more direct. One user commented, "This isn't hard to crack. He's saying Diddy tried to harm him. He thought over time he would change for the better, but the truth will soon reveal." Another chimed in, "You say talking in riddles and backtracking. You went live and was grinning the whole time and logged off. If that's the case, you knew what you was doing and the timing of this." Albie and Kim Porter have a son together, Quincy, who has publicly named Diddy as a prominent paternal figure in his life. However, he nor his siblings have commented on recent news regarding Combs. He says, "Don't let the love songs fool you. I have no comment on anyone's court case, results, or anyone's business for that matter. I will reserve my comments for my own dire straits situation. If you haven't spent time in a coma, 5 surgeries, been on a ventilator for 38 days, intubated, septic, been on dialysis, hand a transplant, then you may want to wait for it. You don't know the half. I will be speaking on only I'll be sure business as my counsel advises me to do so." Well, that's creepy.
Died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that...
Is that true? Kim Porter poison autopsy. Or let's say toxicology report. Is that true? Everybody keeps saying it's a lobar pneumonia. We're not seeing any credible outlets say there was poison.
Create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
Jaguar also claimed that all these people who dealt with Diddy and then died or got sick were planning to release tell-all books and documentaries.
Andre was writing a book right before.
And the timeline is definitely interesting because Kim died just weeks after Cassie and Diddy broke up in October 2018. So maybe Kim told Cassie something in their last conversation that made her finally leave Diddy for good. It's also interesting that Cassie filed her lawsuit on November 16th, and Kim died on November 15th. It's almost like Cassie was sending a message about that conversation she had with Kim. Oh, and by the way, the same day Diddy settled the lawsuit with Cassie, Kim Porter's Wikipedia page disappeared. It looks like Diddy's PR team is working overtime, but it might be too late because the floodgates are open, and fans for years, Diddy is not coming back from this. Good.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little creeped out. Let's spin the block on this. If there's some more stuff, we'll talk about it. Getting a little creeped out about this. I'm getting the look over your shoulder vibes, lock the door vibes, put the alarm on vibes. Like, yeah, this shit is kind of reading like a real true horror movie on some mysterious shit. Okay.